I think I'm very excited about the subject that we're discussing today because it collates everything that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. All the discussions, the debates about the AMCA, our jet engine program, and of course the drone, rockets, artillery, and missile, or DRAM force, the rocket force that we've also been talking about. This is literally, a Bermuda Triangle of sorts that you've put together, and I think we could talk about why we need these for the uninitiated. Sir. Why do we need a conventional rocket force?
Yeah,
Why do we
I
need
think
that AMCA and of course the jet engine?
yeah, I think that's the first thing which we need to understand. And for that, we need to understand the conflict paradigm in which India exists. It's like this. You're going to have three categories of war or conflict which you're going to face broadly. One is, of course, the nuclear war. The second is the non-conventional, non-contact kinetic war. The third is conventional contact kinetic war, which is the normal war which we've always learned. And of course, you're going to have a sub-conventional thing, a hybrid
Right.
kind of a war, which is always there, right? And only now that level has gone down. Might come up, might not come up, but that I would put it as part of the conventional contact kinetic war.
Right.
But
So, for the benefit of our viewers, General Shankar, if you can explain the kind of scenarios that we have seen. Of course, nuclear war has never happened, fortunately.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. Conventional non-contact kinetic war is what we saw during Op Sindhu, the 88 hours last year.
Opsandur, and even during Balakot crisis, we saw that.
Balak also, to an extent. And then conventional contact kinetic is 1971, 1999, even to an extent, though it was a limited sector.
Yes, that's it. The Kargil war and the thing, and to an extent, even the thing we had with in the Eastern Ladakh with China is part of that. Though it was kept at a very low threshold of violence.
Right. Well,
Right,
I
but-
remember your word for that you coined, that coinage. It was belligerent war avoidance.
Or avoidance.
That's the line
Yes.
that you
Belligerent
coined.
war avoidance.
Yes.
Okay, that's the lowest threat. Somewhere that is at this threshold, I would say at the bottommost level.
Right.
Right. And here, if you see, there is one little green band. This is actually the overlap band.
Right.
This is the overlap between conventional contact and non-contact war. It will happen like it happened in Opsandur. You
Right.
might have done a lot in Pakistan's depth and hitting them with BrahMos and standoff against their terrorist targets and all. But you
Right.
also carried out certain amount of cross-border firing on the LOC,
Yes.
and if needed, you would have probably done a few limited actions there. So, right. So this is also there. Some part of thing will also be there. Now the point is, we'll have to see why this has happened. You see, conventional war has always existed, and nuclear war and the possibility of that always existed.
Yes.
Now everyone knows that a nuclear war will be a major catastrophe, and it is politically avoidable. Politicians are not interested in going in for this.
Right.
Whereas on the other hand, the conventional non-contact kinetic war provides attrition. It's all about attrition and depth. I mean, when I say depth, across the spectrum of the
Right.
opponent's battlefield. Visibility is high. We saw that in the Iran-US war. We saw
Yes.
that in Opsandur, right? Visibility of this is very high. And there is a lot of scope for political victory narratives. I'm victorious. It doesn't matter whether you are victorious or not. Today, Iran also claims victory, and even USA also
US
claims.
has claimed victory, right?
Right, same way, Op Sindoor. Pakistan also claimed victory, and we also
Yes.
claim victory. So politically, the narratives can be spun to victory, and right? And you have escalatory control on this. You can switch it off. You can switch it off, right? And then, but on the other hand, the conventional contact kinetic war, which we have done so far, involves gain or loss of territory. Now, the moment
Yes.
territory is exchanged, there's a problem. Okay,
Right.
there are body bags involved.
Yeah.
Politically, it is unacceptable to lose,
Right.
territory or gain body bags
Right.
or lose people, and it is difficult to control once you get in.
Right.
Once you're lost in battle and you've taken over a place, the other chap will try to push you back, or you have lost some, like it happened in Kargil, you lost
Right.
territory. You had no option but to throw them out. We said on all
Right.
talk will be only after that. Okay. But if you look fast forward it today, it is tough. Okay. So the next thing is in conventional non-contact warfare, if these things happen, too many body bags, too much loss of territory and all that, people will jump to the nuclear option
Right.
politically, right? Because that's the last, what shall I say? That's the last argument.
Right.
So you have a tendency, and that's what Pakistan does. Okay.
Saber
Uh,
rattling, nuclear saber rattling.
I wouldn't say nuclear saber rattling. The chances of going there are high. So people will say, why should I go into a contact war and try and gain territory and all that? In any case, even if you gain territory, you have to return it back.
Yeah.
The way delimited border. Okay, it's only in a place like POK and all you can keep it, but then they're different things. It's a complicated thing. Whereas a non-contact one is it gives you adequate space to think, right? The interesting thing is this: in the Op Sindoor, Pakistan realized that look, they had no capability for conventional non-contact kinetic war, and they got hit because they
Very
got hit so
badly. Yeah.
very badly. Though they are saying we won and all that, that's nonsense. They got hit very badly. They went and created this capability to contest this non-kinetic force through that rocket force. See, Pakistan has been, I will give it very clear headed about their approach to this. They realized they don't have it. They created a rocket force, put together what all rockets they had under that force, and they're now ready. So, what happens in the next war? In the next war, you'll see that if at all, whenever it happens, that Pakistan has space, has the capability to hit you. You have the capability to hit. So then it comes down to question who hits more, who
Attrition.
throws the
Basically, you start.
ball,
Yeah.
right? And now the thing with the non-conventional kinetic option is that you can go in depth and hit anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so he causes you a damage in one of your cities or wherever, you can hit it back, and then you can switch between forces. Targets can be the forces or infrastructure or even civilian targets. We saw
Right.
that happen. You know,
Of course.
USA started hitting steel industry and petrochemical industry of Iran and all. So you can be punitive in non-contact extensively. So now Pakistan is developing this capability. So it leads you to two things. One is if you are want to be victorious or you want to come up on the plus side, you have to do two things. One, you should retain your ability to hit him in depth through multiple sources. And the second thing is you should be able to stop him from executing his thing.
Offense
If you
and
are
defense, both. Yeah.
offense and defense, you should be able to defend yourself. So that brings me to the thing which we were talking of, the missing triangle. It is you need to have fighters and engines. I'll talk of engines because
Yes.
you need to have basically fighters which can go across and hit. And you need to have air defense,
Right.
right? And you need to have DRAM capability. DRAM capability is drones, rockets, artillery, and missiles. So these things are what we need to have. That is to go into to this space, which is going to be the most likely space. It does not mean that you ignore this space.
Right.
It does not mean that you ignore the conventional kinetic war capability. Right? Today, our balance is that you have this capability, and probably you don't have this capability, especially against the your
China.
northern against China.
Right.
I will put it this way: you might have some capability if you are not balanced or structured enough to handle that. So our problem on this missing triangle is twofold. One is you need to develop certain capabilities, But the second is you need to restructure your system so that these capabilities which you have are better optimized.
Right.
Right. And this is what I thought I'll first this thing before we get into each of these. Your views on whatever I've said and whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of these that you're mentioning, Jan Shankar, they have been in the pipeline for a while. I mean, the fighter and engine, that's an eternal quest, literally, for us. In India, I'm only talking about India. The air defense, of course, is, I think it's a post-Op Sindoor awakening, and the fact that we had a very powerful IACCS, homegrown indigenous systems, which we have also been building up over the years, 2-3 decades, plus S-400s coming in. DRAM, of course, is something that we are seeing because of Russia, Ukraine, also Op Sindoor and the Iran war, where Iran had the capability to inflict damage across the entire GCC. I mean, in a way, I think it's never happened in
Yep.
history before, where one nation has attacked 6-7 countries simultaneously with drones, rockets, missiles, and it took a lot of beating as well. But it escalated horizontally, it escalated vertically, and this conflict is very unique for a number of ways. And they've managed to hold the United States to a draw, so to speak. So I think these are very, very important things, and I think we should look at what are our situation currently with the 3 fighters jet engines,
Okay. Let's
the
look.
Sudarshan
Let
Chakra, and of course the rocket force.
Yeah.